In this video, we will be journeying through the uncommon stories in the life of Phoebe Cate. As a teenager, Cate was led into the acting industry by an unfortunate accident, got welcomed by a band of thirsty directors who got creative at using her for their selfish gains, and in old age, she reveals just how leaving the industry would save her life and family. How? Let's find out. Hollywood was never a part of Phoebe's plan. As a child, she spent half of her childhood fantasizing about a different walk of life, but tragedies were going to make her settle for a career that would punish her. Her parents were entertainment figures. Her father, Joseph Cate, was a major Broadway producer, while her mother, Lily Cate, was rumored to have been an actress. Phoebe's uncle, Gilbert Cate, had produced multiple television specials, so by just looking around, Cate could tell the pattern that existed before her birth. But for some reason, she didn't want to be a part of any of that. At age 10, with her family's influence, Phoebe started modeling and featuring in the top magazines like 17 and other popular teenagers' cover books. She was great at it, but there was nothing the young lady wanted more than to become a dancer. Her parents couldn't even talk her out of it. And when she received a scholarship to the School of American Ballet, it felt like a dream come true. Only if she knew that her dreams were soon going to be crushed and silenced forever. 4 years later, at age 14, Phoebe survived a terrible accident with a knee injury that would make sure she never danced again. She was forced to drop out of school, and when this happened, Cate dusted her modeling career off the shelves, but this time, as she revealed, she hated her job. It was just the same thing over and over. After a while, I did it solely for the money, Cate complained. With dancing out of the list and modeling not able to satisfy her, Phoebe started exploring her options, hoping to discover what the next best thing after ballet was. Back in those days, it was really easy for models to transition into the acting industry. So it's not too hard to tell that her search was not going to be a long one. She would soon land a role because of her impressive modeling background, but when she learned about all that was required of her, she made a run for her life. Cate was welcomed to the industry with a part in the 1982 Canadian adventure romance film Paradise. For her part in the film, she was to appear nude in a few scenes. Now, she was not so comfortable with this idea, but her father wanted so much for his daughter to join the family business, so he encouraged her. With her father's blessings, Cate got bold with being naked in front of the camera, but what do producers and film directors do to a young naive actress desperate for a big break? They exploit them. The story was not going to be so different for Phoebe Cate, who, after the film, confessed that she regrets everything about it. Cate comfortably filmed several full frontal nude and rear scenes for her role, but the show producers would deceive her by using a body double to film nude close-ups of her character without telling her. This irritated Cate so much because she didn't even want to take the role in the first place. Her father had only convinced her. Co-star Willie Ames would reveal that after the show ended, Phoebe would not speak to anyone from the show. She will have nothing to do with the film. She is really upset about it. She won't do any promotion with me, he said. But her next feature proved to be better, and although she was set for a rocky career path ahead, Phoebe still made the most of what she could get in the now. She landed a part in Fast Times in Ridgemont High, a film she described as the most memorable bikini drop in cinema history. Although she doesn't like to admit it, Paradise gave her the recognition she craved as a newbie actress, desperate for a breakthrough. It kept contracts on her table, giving her the luxury of choice. But her warm reception in the industry was soon going to be over, and the actress was faced with the everyday struggles of stars who had lost their Hollywood charm. As her later years in the industry would reveal, Phoebe didn't hate acting because of a bunch of corrupt directors trying to take advantage of her. She just never wanted to be an actress. But somehow, in the dying years of her career, she managed to fall in love with the stage. The actress had her stage debut in the 1984 off-Broadway play The Nest of the Woodgrouse, and ever since, all she had for theatrical performances were just praises. There are simply not that many good parts in a film, Phoebe defended her stance in a 1988 interview, but that the theater had tons of good women roles. I think of the theater as what I like to do most. I've only felt happy as an actress for about 2 years. I rarely watch my film work. You could say that was why she quit. Phoebe Cate, as an actress, only managed to score roles in a handful of movies, and a lot of them are forgettable. But we remember her for films like Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Gremlins, Drop Dead Fred, and Princess Caribou. She never really fancied the industry, and the industry didn't really fancy her as well. Her last on-screen appearance would be in the 2001 comedy-drama film The Anniversary Party. But what about her relationships and love life? Phoebe's love life is that other part of her life she fought so hard to keep a secret. Many argue that the major reason why she did this was because she was uncomfortable with the media meddling in her private business, or as some say, she wasn't really proud of the men she fell in love with. Phoebe's first relationship in the industry was with film producer Stavros Merhos. They met for the first time at Studio 54, and at that time, Cate was still a successful model with no intentions of joining the acting industry. As a matter of fact, Stavros might just be the one who convinced her to give Hollywood a shot. Anyway, they were together for 3 years, and in those 3 years, they lived together. While the reason for separation was never made public, Stavros, after their nasty breakup, surprisingly only had kind words for the actress. Phoebe's terrific because she takes everything that's happened to her in her stride, without ego or attitude, he said. Well, if only Phoebe could say the same about him. But obviously, for the best reasons, Cate avoids commenting on their relationship in interviews. Many people go as far as arguing that she has still not forgiven him for convincing her to become an actress. Their split was one to remember, but soon enough, Cate was back on her feet, ready for her next love adventure. She fell once again into the arms of co-star Willie Ames, and according to Who's Dating Who, they were together for a year before they split. It's not always a good idea to move an on-screen romance to real life, but Cate would experiment this with Ames, and predictably, it didn't end the way they had wanted. The third time would be the charm for the American actress, as she was finally blessed with a relationship many actresses in Hollywood can only fantasize about. And like all the good ones, it didn't look like it in the first instance. But today, Phoebe Cate celebrates over 34 years of marriage with American actor Kevin Kline. When they met for the first time, Cate was a 19-year-old model. Kevin was 16 years her senior. He was more successful, having featured in hit plays like Loose Ends and The Pirates of Penzance. The actor was scared to make the move on Cate at first. According to him, she was too happy and young to settle for a man like him. But believe it or not, Hollywood writes the best love stories, and the next time these two would meet, they couldn't resist each other. Everyone had their doubts concerning this romance, but Phoebe and Kevin carefully nurtured this love over the years before they finally tied the knot in a private wedding ceremony in New York in 1989. But one thing the media continues to hide is that this relationship destroyed Phoebe Cates' career. The couple welcomed their first child, Owen Joseph, in 1991, and then their daughter, Greta Simone, in 1994. Motherhood came so fast at Cates, and she struggled to balance her family needs with her career demands. She finally made peace with the truth that she needed to sacrifice one for the other to thrive. I knew that acting wasn't an option for me. I wasn't driven to do it again, Phoebe shared. Interview with Kline about the secret of his flourishing marriage, and the actor revealed that the age difference, which everyone thought was going to be a curse, was actually a blessing. According to him, meeting Cate in his 40s when he was losing obsession with the acting industry was the secret glue that has kept them together for all of these years. They also alternated time to attend to family, and for him, it boils down to couples intentionally investing time to make their marriage work. "We have dinner all together, once a week at least," Kline told Parade. "The kids haven't banished us from their lives." Phoebe Cate has not been on screen since 2001. While it is easier to imagine the actress making a comeback since she has not officially announced her retirement, what if she enjoys this new life she has found? What has Cate been up to after she ditched acting? The actress has not been idle after retreating from the spotlight. She has kept her hands busy, just not busy on the popular things. Celebrity lifestyle never did appeal to her, so in 2005, Phoebe Cate became a businesswoman. She opened a boutique store in Manhattan called The Blue Tree. The store specializes in jewelry, clothes, perfumes, art, and stuffed animals. With all the cash it is bringing into her purse, no doubt Cate has finally found her destiny path. Even though it is not as fun as being in the ballroom, it is certainly not as boring as being an actress. Anything is possible, but all I'm saying is that fans shouldn't hold their breath while they wait for her to make a return to the screens, as she certainly enjoys her new life. Many believe that she failed in the entertainment industry because she was just not good enough, but that's not all true. Most times, especially in Hollywood, everything could be perfect, and still, an actor is unable to find lasting success. Phoebe Cate shares a similar story. We saw her performances on screen and how she easily blended into any role that was required of her. However, as she would always describe, fame was just not made for her. In the audition for the 1984 TV miniseries Lace, Cate so impressed the directors that they wanted to hire her on the spot. Although she would in the long run have a character conflict with the role she was expected to play, she still managed to create history with it. "Which one of you bitches is my mother?" would go down in the history books as the greatest line in television by the TV Guide in 1993. So you see, Cates only left the acting business much more because she didn't enjoy it than because of her struggles with landing prominent roles. Cates made herself a few enemies for choosing not to continue in the industry, but her decision still stands. "Some people have trouble with that," she told Fox News, "but I love it. I do it all." Still, the actress has not closed the Hollywood chapter forever. She accompanies her husband to Hollywood events whenever her schedule lets her, and she doesn't seem ready to officially announce her retirement. Perhaps that's a door she wants to forever keep open. Did she ever attempt music? Well, not many people know this, but Phoebe Cate was really great at singing. It's sad that it died as a hobby, but during her acting days, it certainly cut some advantage for her. For her first film, Paradise, Cate recorded the film's theme song, and it was also rumored that she had an album released around this time also. In the 1983 comedy, Private School, she sang on 2 songs off the film's soundtrack, Just One Touch and How Do I Let You Know. The apple doesn't fall so far from the apple tree, as Phoebe's daughter, Greta Klein, would take up a career as a musician. She is famous for her independent releases inspired by Frank O'Hara's poetry. Her son, like his father, would become an actor and director. You might remember him as Frank Berkman in The Squid and the Whale. Cate has done a terrific job in raising her children, and judging by the smile on her face whenever she is asked, giving up acting to focus on family doesn't seem like a decision she regrets. Phoebe Cate, now 60 years old, doesn't look a day over 40. She enjoys the celebrity lifestyle with her husband and her 2 lovely children. The actress and businesswoman has an estimated net worth of $35 million, according to CelebrityNetWorth.com. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our other videos of beautiful actresses from the yesteryears on the end screen.